hope y'all are having a great day. Welcome to the vlog. We're kind of getting off to a late start today because Kaidale decided he wanted to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning again. So we're kind of just running a little late, checked into school late. Now I'm back at the apartment, just kind of getting cleaned up and ready for the day, next couple of days actually, because I'm off for 2 days. So I'm really excited to spend some time with Kaidale today, but for now I'm just trying to kind of get things cleaned up and, you know, back to order. So it's like super cold outside. I know us Floridians are a tad dramatic, but it's like in the 50s, which is Antarctica weather to us. So we're just kind of hunkered down today in our turtlenecks and sweatshirts trying to stay warm. But there's something that I actually kind of wanted to touch base on as far as the topic for today's vlog, and it's a question that I have been getting. I've noticed several different subscribers have reached out to me and just kind of asked me as far as, you know, when Kaidale was diagnosed, how did you take that? How did you handle that? How did you cope with that? So kind of just something I wanted to talk about in today's vlog, and that's just, you know, coping with your kid's diagnosis and how you handle that and how you process that. So yeah, just gonna talk about that for a little while. So first thing is first, I know this is gonna sound super cliche, but whatever. It's something that we learned in nursing school that I didn't realize the importance of it until I went through it myself, and that is Kubler-Ross's theory of the stages and development of grief. And it's something that it was never applicable to me to real life until Kaidale was diagnosed. Kaidale was actually diagnosed when I was in nursing school, in the thick of wondering and stressing whether or not I'm going to pass nursing school or have a career to be able to support my child as a single parent. All the stress of nursing school kind of compacted into a new diagnosis of autism for my 2-year-old child. And that's a really big pill to swallow that I don't think people realize that. I don't think they're aware of how big of a pill that is to swallow until you're in it. And your perfect little child, your perfect baby is diagnosed with autism or any other developmental disability or anything that you didn't really predict to happen. When it happens, it's real. And you go through these stages of grief and you don't really realize it until you're going through it. Envision this life for your child, and it's this life of this normal, well-rounded child who's gonna grow up, he's gonna go to school, they're gonna go to college, they're gonna get married, they're gonna have a family, they're gonna move out, and you're gonna have grandkids, you're gonna grow old with, you know, kind of just the traditional white picket fence envisionment for your life is just what you assume is going to happen. But then, bam, life hits you, smacks you in the face, it throws you a curveball, and you don't realize that this is how your life is really gonna be. So, you know, as Kaidale was getting older, he was entering his 2-year-old phase, I knew something was going on. He wasn't talking, he wasn't developing appropriately. I knew something was going on. But the first stage of grief is denial. So I was denying, no, like, he's not autistic. He makes good eye contact with me and he doesn't freak out every time I touch him. There's no way he's autistic. He's not autistic. Anything but autism. It's like it's a curse word or something. You just don't want your kid to be autistic. So that's kind of what I went through at first with him, and I think that's kind of a very common theme, and it's just the first phase of grief. But then he did get that diagnosis of autism. I did take him to a developmental pediatrician. She diagnosed him with autism. She said it's very cut and dry. He's autistic. So then sets in the anger. You get furiously angry. You get angry at life, angry at God, angry at every person, the doctor that diagnosed him. You're just livid. You're angry because what you suspected could have been true, but you were in denial about the fact that it was the truth. a doctor is telling you, no, it is true, your child is autistic, and you're furious. I remember going to the park or any public setting, and I remember parents of normal functioning kids pissed me off. They made me so angry just because I felt like I was jealous of them. I was jealous of the fact that they had these normal functioning kids. They had the life that I thought I was going to have, but they have it and I don't. And I was angry at them. I was angry at the world. I was just angry that my kid got dealt this hand, and it's not fair. So just angry. And I remember also other friends and people that I knew that were parents, the stuff that they would complain about, and they would, they would feel like they had the audacity to feel like was a big deal. I'm like, that's nothing. Oh, I'm sorry, your kid isn't pronunciating his R's appropriately. That's a big deal to you. And it just made me angry. Everything made me so angry. So that's the second phase of grief. The third phase is bargaining. So you got your diagnosis, you know what's going on, you know what you're working with, so you start bargaining. So you start researching and you drive yourself crazy just looking for all these different solutions, all these different possibilities. You think, I can find a way to cure my kid, I can find a way to reverse his symptoms. I'm gonna try this protocol or that protocol. We're gonna try this medication or this diet or this essential oil or whatever. And all that stuff is great. And I'm not saying it doesn't help with symptoms, but I'm saying you just start bargaining, oh, maybe it's not this, or maybe it's not that, or I can find a solution. I can find a cure for my kid, because we love our kids. We all love our kids. We would take a bullet for our kids. We would do anything for them. So we feel like if we can just find a solution or find a cure for them, that we can fix their autism. And that is a difficult phase of grief to be going through, because you will drive yourself crazy trying to find a solution for their autism. And it's not that you don't love them. For them, we love them for who they are. I love everything about Kaidale. I love everything about him. But you do bargain and you do try to look for answers. And it's just as simple as that. You're looking for answers, ways to help them. So then after bargaining comes the depression. The depression starts to set in. Make no mistake, autism is hard. Autism sometimes sucks. It's just difficult. It's difficult to see your kids struggling. It's difficult to get caught in the crossfire of their rage, their meltdowns, their behavioral issues, their psychotic behavior. It sucks. It sucks. It's hard. It's depressing. You start realizing that this is our life. This is what it's going to be. I've got to figure out a plan B. I've got to figure out an alternative, a way to make this work. This is not what I expected. This is not what I planned for, but this is the way that it is, and it sucks. And it's depressing. And I'm not saying that being autistic is depressing, because I love Kaidale and I love Kaidale's autism. But there are certain components of autism that suck, and they're depressing, and they're hard and difficult to deal with. Seeing your kids struggle is difficult to deal with. Point blank, period. It's hard. It's really hard. So you will go through a period of depression. You'll be sad. It will happen. But then after that, you will start to accept things. And that is the last stage of grief. You'll start to accept things for the way that they are. You'll start to accept your child, his or her behaviors, his or her autism, or whatever their diagnosis is, that is anything deviated from what you envisioned for their life. You'll start to accept it. And make no mistake, it took me years to get to this final stage of grief. It took me a very long time to get to the point of acceptance and this is our life, and this is what it is, and we are going to make the best of it. So it's hard. Stages of grief are real, and you will go through that. But eventually you will just come to terms with your child's diagnosis, your new life, the way that it is, and you'll start to accept it, and you'll find a way to make it work for you. And there is no blueprint. There is no exact plan for everybody in this world. It's all individualized. And I'm sorry that I can't give you any better advice than that. I wish I could just tell you what to do and make it better, but it's just different for everybody. You've just got to find what makes it work for you and your family. But you will begin to accept it, and I promise you, all those feelings that you're processing and that you're going through when your child is being diagnosed, it will get better. It will. With time and proper coping and processing, it will get better. And don't feel shameful to admit those feelings to yourself. Don't feel shameful or like you can't be truthful about the way you're feeling, because you have every right as a parent to feel that, to feel angry, to feel depressed, to feel frustrated. You have every right to feel that way, and it's okay. It's okay. Just be honest with yourself, with your support system. Just tell them how you're feeling. And if you don't want to talk about it, that's okay too. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to talk about it. But just know that that is a part of grieving, because you are grieving. You are going to grieve for the loss of the life that you envisioned for you and your child. And it can get better, you guys. Kaidale has progressed more than I ever thought he would. I never in 1,000 years thought that he would be potty trained, he would be talking, he would be doing all the things that he's doing. So it can get better, but it's not overnight. It's going to take years to progress and process all of your feelings of grief. But I promise it'll get better. It's really hard at first when you first get that diagnosis, because it just feels like your world is crashing and coming to an end. And it's just so overwhelming to accept something like that. But I promise it will get better. Something that I discovered in nursing school as I was trying to navigate getting through a degree and accepting my son's diagnosis, it was a very stressful time. But something that I discovered is actually the power of exercise and running your worries away. I mean, I was never a runner before. I never really enjoyed running. I always felt sick to my stomach afterwards. I hated running. I hated it. But during nursing school, I really discovered that there is a beauty in running, and there is a beauty in running your worries away and running your stress away. And it just became really relieving to me. The more I ran, the better I felt. It just helped me to bring balance to my life. But that's just me. All right. It's just about time to go pick up Kaidale. So I'm going to go head over to his school and pick him up. And we actually have a psychiatrist appointment this afternoon, which I'll talk about a little bit later and kind of go more into detail about that. Kaidale, how's school? I missed you, bud. Are you sleepy because you woke up so early today? Kid loves to go get some french fries for an after school snack. It's one of his favorite things. Oh my, he stole my drink. I got a tea and he stole it. So now he has tea and grape soda. So in honor of talking about mental health and mental health awareness today, I thought that we would bring you guys along with us to our psychiatry appointment. Psychiatry is only something that I've started doing with Kaidale for probably about 6 months now. I was very hesitant for a very long time to start psychiatry. I just wanted to exhaust every option that we had, try every single thing that we could think of until we decided to try meds. And there's really no rhyme or reason. I just wanted to try everything. I wanted to give him every opportunity. I wanted to kind of use medication as a last resort. As a nurse, I just kind of am very hesitant towards psych meds. You know, I'm very aware of the liability of taking them, of the possible side effects and interactions, and, you know, just things that goes along with taking psych meds. For some reason, it just kind of freaked me out. And I don't know why, because I'm a nurse. I give out psych meds every day on a daily basis to different patients. But for some reason, it just kind of freaked me out. The idea of starting my young child on heavy psych meds. But it kind of got to a point with Kaidale to where don't get me wrong, he's made a lot of progress with ABA. His self-injury and his behaviors have definitely declined significantly throughout the years. But he goes through these phases of unpredictability to where he'll be doing great for several months, and then he'll have a couple of months to where it's just so difficult. And we call it Kaidale going red. And it was happening on like a daily basis to where he would just have a complete break. He would just flip out, get aggressive. It was really hard to leave him with any caregivers, any family members, I mean, anything. It was really life limiting. And it was getting scary, to be honest with you. I mean, he's a big 8-year-old. He's very tall. He's very strong. When he gets in those angry moments, it's scary. It really is. He was leaving marks on me, on himself. He was very destructive. So it just kind of got to a point to where I felt like my back was against the wall. We've tried everything we can think to try of. So I just decided to just go ahead and establish a relationship with a psychiatrist so that if we wanted to try meds, at least we already had the ball rolling. So anywho, that's my little spiel on psychiatry. I'll talk a little bit more after our appointment about what medication Kaidale's on and why he's on what he's on. But for now, he actually really likes coming to the doctors, which is something kind of new. He used to hate it. So he's a little antsy to go on ahead and get inside. So we're going to go ahead and go inside, and we'll see you guys after. Hey, wait for me, buddy. You ready? Hold my hand. It's in my pocket. I got it. It's right here. Come on. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Okay. They're calling you. Come on.
If you can't find any lions or tigers, sometimes it's fun to watch kitty cats.
We are back from the doctor's office. Kaidale did so good. Going to the doctor's office used to be something that we really dreaded. It was not a very pleasant experience. He did not do well waiting. The whole process just wasn't fun. But the older he's getting, the better he's getting about going to the doctors. So honestly, it's not that big of a deal anymore. And he's learned that sometimes they have candy, you know, when you go to check in and check out. And so he actually looks forward to it because of the possibility that there might be candy there. So it's kind of funny how things change over time, and things that used to be difficult aren't so bad anymore. Hey bud, I was gonna come in there and hang out with you. Kaidale is having fun. He just got home from a long day at school, so he's having fun playing in his little room on his little gymnastics bar. He's all of a sudden really into his toys. Walmart. What? You want Walmart? I don't know about that, buddy. Okay. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, we just got back from the doctor's appointment at his psychiatrist, and Kaidale did very well. I mean, he's just killing it at the doctor's office these days. We're also fortunate enough that we have a rock star ABA analyst that attends these appointments with us, because sometimes it's just hard for me as a parent, coming from a parent's perspective, to kind of get my point across. I mean, I'm not a psychiatric professional by any means. All I know is from a parent's perspective. So it's really nice having that clinical professional input when you go to these appointments, just to try to, for collaboration purposes, and just to try to figure out what is really the best medication to start your child on. And for Kaidale, we started with Abilify. That did not seem to work out well for him. He just did not respond very well to Abilify. It seemed to actually make some of his aggressive tendencies a little bit worse instead of better. And his psychiatrist was explaining to us that sometimes people with autism spectrum disorder don't respond in very predictable ways to meds. So what you would think would cause them to be less psychotic would cause them to be more, or vice versa. So it's kind of just trial and error, which sounds a little bit scary, but that's why we rely on the professionals to steer us in the right direction. And that was certainly the case with Abilify. So we nipped that in the bud. We started him on Prozac, and Prozac has made a world of a difference for him. It really has just helped him to kind of mellow out. I can tell that Kaidale's more comfortable in his own skin now. I honestly can. He's more mellow. He seems more happy-go-lucky, less rigid, less tense, less uncomfortable seeming like he was before. So I'm really glad that I decided to start him on meds. I don't have any regrets about that at all. If anything, I kind of wish I would have maybe done it a little bit sooner and gotten over some of that stigma that I had, that, you know, I was just scared, really. So, yeah. But anyways, I don't know what we're gonna do the rest of the night. We might just hang out here. We might go out and do something fun. But I'm gonna let Kaidale chill for a little bit, and if we don't see you guys again for the rest of the night, I hope y'all have a great night. Hope you have a great day tomorrow, and we'll see you guys later. Well, we decided we were just gonna go randomly to the trampoline park on this Wednesday evening, so that's what we're doing. All right, ready? Are you scared? Just go. Go, you'll be fine. Go, go, go. Whee! Whoa! That's awesome! Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh my gosh. What did you get me into? Wow, that was so much fun. That was perfect for Kaidale. He had a blast. We are totally gonna go there all the time. But for now, it is late. We are spent. We're gonna go get some Chick-fil-A for dinner and go home and go to bed. Kiddo, can you say goodnight? Oh, you're drinking. Can you say goodnight? Good night. See you next time.